Hopefully that's working. Good, 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 good. Now we'll see if the bot works. Hey Oknog, something more. Why do you hate me already? I know I'm late. Oh yeah, we will. Well, I mean, with the 3 weeks later for the scripting introduction. But there was just so much other stuff that we had to do. Hmm. To you, Oknog, you said that I was late. Wasn't I think it was you, right? Yeah, you said that I'm 3 weeks late. Oh yeah, that is something. At least I started the stream. But yeah, I'm sorry that it's this late. And it's not gonna be anything super special, anyways, because I don't know. I think I'll just show something really basic, how to create some function, how to plug in the thingy if someone has problems with that. The thingy is the code completion, of course, but the thingy sounds more professional. It is. Oh, it's so nice. It is so strange, but it seems like the bot is not working somehow. But it should be working. What is this? Maybe there is some slight delay, so I'll just wait before panicking. But it really sucks that I can't test it out before going live and stuff. I will just quickly check the plugin once again. Du-du-du. Yeah, it should work. Hey JC, hi Shadow, hi. Okay, this is super weird. Let's just wait. Sound alerts, this is just for the 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 widget that was for playing the sounds, I think. Yeah. The sounds are still off because I still haven't gotten to lower the volume and I'm very worried that you guys might spam it. Yeah, I will. Maybe just the uploader. So you guys can only cheer. You can't hate. So I was thinking earlier today what we should or could do with the text scripting. And a while back I spent a lot of time watching the pendulums drawing different shapes and it is just so amazing. So I started playing with some simple script to create this, where you could define multiple connected pendulums, and it would be just drawing something. And what I came up with is not working because I broke it before. Okay. Pretend that this didn't happen. It was working before. So I'll just quickly jump into the text and figure out why it's not working. And hopefully you guys will be able to see it too already. I made the text bigger so you guys could see it. But yeah, I was trying to make the adding for the new like, you know, legs simpler. So instead of passing new vectors, I will just be passing numbers, and I'll explain everything later. But I think what is happening here is a rotated vector. Yeah, this is the function that I've created, and yes, I should just be passing in numbers. So hopefully, like this. Oh yeah, it's working. So you can see that the pencil is drawing the shape, and there are currently, I think, 3 different circles being drawn, each one on the end of the another. And yeah, I just really love the shapes that this can create when you play around with it. And I think we could create something like this, because it is very easy. It will be just few lines and you will see the basics of the text scripting on it. Ah, this is so amazing. Thanks, Yarda. And we finished. Oh, this is so nice. Okay, so yeah, this is what we will be creating today, and I will create a new text script and we will build it up from the start. Hi, Spyler. Oh, this is honestly just basics. Like, if I show you the text editor here, this is everything that we're gonna need. This is literally what it is. So, I'm thinking I am gonna reuse what I've already had. Just with the pixel cube that is gonna be spawned there. And the pencil. Yes, sorry, just got me thinking. I'm gonna delete this script. We're not gonna need it anymore. Oh no, it's not a predefined image. It is different for. We can add the pendulums, different ones, and define their lengths and the speed at which they're rotating. And then in the update function, they start all moving together. And when you move like the first one for 1 degree, the second one that is moving around the center of it is at the end of the first one, so it's moving a little bit faster, and this is what creates the cool images. I could try and visualize the points as well, so we could see where they are rotating. Okay, so what we have here is time trigger. The time trigger is 0.03 seconds. This is the minimum that we can go. We don't need the burning torch. And then we have here a pixel cube that I've welded together and disabled the colliders so we can save some power for the spawning, so we can spawn more of them. Oh, I just realized when you're on the road that you can't see my webcam here. This is not great. I want it to be there. Haha! I'm back. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna switch to islands. So, sorry. I was. I'm still getting used to switching the two windows between each other. So yeah, we have a time trigger here. We have the pixel cube that is used in the entity template here. Okay, and the pixel cube, as I said, is welded and has colliders disabled. So this is what we're gonna use to draw the lines themselves. And then the only thing that we have is some canvas. This is the white blocks and pencil. No, you can't create templates in text scripting. That would be the same thing as creating templates in visual scripting, basically, because we are not adding anything like extra in the text scripting. It is just reused functions that we already have in visual scripting. So yeah, then I have this pencil, and I welded the pencil as well. Yeah, the pixel cubes are being spawned in each step, and they are creating the lines. And this pencil is just moving to the, at the spot that it's being drawn, and I've moved the pivot point so it has the, it has the pivot point at the tip of the pencil, so it looks like it is actually drawing the lines. And this is just like, you don't need that, but it's just a nice detail, you know? Uh, well, you can reference the groups the same as you reference it in the visual scripting. So far, it can only do the same things as the visual scripting does. So you can only use it in, I think we have them in animations when you're like move to and something like that. You can reference the group with the ID and it will work just as anything else. So yeah, it really is just reworked visual scripting into a text version. So anything you can think of using in the visual scripting should work in text scripting as well. Okay, so this is everything we have, and this reference point is just a center. This is just a center point that I picked, and placed the reference point with the rotation. I'm keeping the same rotation as this canvas because that way, no matter how I rotate this, if I always use transform position on this reference point, it will always draw on the canvas no matter how it's rotated. So yeah, always align your reference points with the same rotation and you'll be good. Okay, so first we will enable the text scripting here. For those of you who don't know, it says here, enable text scripting. Hey your text, and once you do, you will see this text scripts in the properties. And here you can add a new file, create a new script with the star. And I already have some here, so I'm gonna call it pendulums. Oh, I can't spell pendulums. Great. Save. Okay, so right now we've added this this script to the to the time trigger, and you have to remember that it generates some code automatically, and in that code it has called all of the events with some console logs. So at this point, if I used some event here, like on trigger, I wouldn't be able to test the game because you can only call the events once in your code. You can't call the, on trigger once and then for the second. Oh, on the second time, I was so confused that it actually worked. So yeah, you can't call them twice. That's just a fact. You can't. So at this time, I'm trying to call it from here as well as from the text scripting. So that is why it's not going to work. So you have to watch out for that, because you can combine visual scripting with text scripting, but you have to look out for these conflicts in the scripting. Okay, so I'm not using any visual scripting to keep it, simple. And I'm gonna quickly open the file that we created. Okay, so at this point, hopefully you already have this file, and if you don't, it is actually very simple. Very simple to get it. I am gonna paste in just a second. Scripting. Yes. So you will go to I'm currently working on the wiki page for this. So I'm gonna paste it in here just so you see. And on this website, scripting.islands.com, you can find a complete tutorial on how to plug this in. And I have worked with this tutorial and I was writing it into that. So it's working. It is very simple to do. You can download the current file that we have, because we will be updating it as we add more functions to visual scripting and stuff like that. This file will be updated, so you always have to update it in your code as well if you want to use or if you want to support the code completion for those new functions. And yeah, so once you download this and once you've added the file type into here, and I don't think I have to do it since you have a complete tutorial on the web page, but basically there is preferences, settings, I think, and somewhere here should be files. Yeah, under text editor, files. So you will just add this file type with value JavaScript and add this item. That is this way you will let the Visual Studio Code you will let it know. Sorry, can't talk today. It is very nice, Chase. You just send me some energy drinks and I'm gonna slip you some extra documentation. Okay, so as you can see, we already have those events that I talked about called, and if I tested the game now, it would just print into the console, await, create, game start, all of these at the beginning, and then on trigger would be printed out every 0.03 seconds since we set it up like that. Oh, so Spyler is the one I should be bribing. Oh, okay. It's good to know. Okay, so we're not gonna be not gonna be needing these events, since the only one we need is the update where we are gonna be moving the pendulums and actually drawing the picture. I'm gonna delete them just to keep it nice and simple. And now we're gonna be defining some variables that we need to use in our code, right? So first one, we're gonna need some counter that is gonna represent the progress we've made in the circle. So I'm just gonna create some variable counter. This is gonna equal 0 at the beginning. And what we're gonna do is that each time we go to the trigger event, we're gonna increase this counter by 1. So counter plus equals 1. This will just add to the value. So after the first call, it's gonna be 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and so on and so on. And we can use this counter to represent some value, some like the angles in the circle, right? So if I just quickly use the pencil and try to move with the pencil before we start spawning any, any pixel cubes, we can go into the game and we are gonna check that the pencil has ID of 56, right? Oh no, JC, I'm gonna slow down. But so far you haven't done anything complicated, so yeah, Oknok, this has to be in English. This is the same as every other programming language that you have. None of them are actually translated. This is just the way they are written. So anything you create, like variables and your functions, you can write in your own language. But the way these functions are written are in their native language. So yeah. Okay, sorry. So what was I saying? 56? Yeah. So we can reference to the pencil here in each frame, or to save ourselves some writing, because if we are going to use the pencil multiple times, then we would have to always write y_world dot get entity, and here I would pass in 56 as the ID. And this will get me the number, right? But I would always have to remember that 56 is the pencil, or go back to the game and look for it. So much easier way is to create some variable that is gonna keep this information for me, so I don't have to remember it. So I'm gonna create a variable pencil and just pass in this. Yeah, exactly, Arda. This is something like that, yes. Okay, so we already have the pencil, and from now on, whenever I wanna, point to the pencil in the game, I will only write pencil, and now I am referencing to the yworld.getEntity56. So it is super simple, and now I can just set pencil.position equals, and I can set the position. Now there is few things, and if I go, I'm sorry, I am just gonna jump into the yeah. So there are two types of like these ways to work with these entities and whatnot, with everything basically. You can either have like methods, or you can have accessors, and the difference between them is that method looks like something like this: yworld.getEntity. GetEntity is a method for getting the entity, and the way you write it is that you write the space in which it is, dot, and now you write the method. Okay? Hey, Awaki. But these accessors, they act this way, that you first need to reference the entity that you want to work with, that position. So now I'm using it, and now I can work with the position. If I leave it like this, it will return me the position that the pencil now has. But I want to set the position, so I'm going to set equal, and now I'm going to be rewriting the original position of the pencil with whatever I pass in here. Okay? And for this, I can either use some other position, like I could use yworld.getLogic, and now I would find the reference point, which is, so you see, I would see the reference point is 4, and I would be like, okay, I want to set the position of the pencil to the position of this reference point. So I would just go with ID4 dot position. Okay, so I would say that set the position of this pencil to the position of this game logic, which we don't want to do right now, but this is how you would do it if you wanted to. Okay, so speaking of the center, we will be using this center quite often because we are going to be rotating around it. So I think we could create a variable for this as well. And I'm gonna rename it. Oh yeah. Get logic, and this is gonna be the center of the canvas that we're gonna be rotating around. Yeah, exactly, JC. Exactly as you wrote it. So if I want to rotate around the center, I can use center.transform position. And as you know already from the game, what I pass into transform position is the offset. So it will take the position of the center, and now I can pass in any value, any vector, and it's gonna offset it from the position of the center. And what is great about this is that it already counts with the rotation of the center. So I can already have it rotated on the canvas, as you've seen there. So transform position, and now we have to somehow pass in the counter as the rotation of the point. So what I've done with my example is that I used y vector 3 dot rotate vector, and for rotate vector I use it quite often actually. You pass in some rotation and some vector that you want to rotate. So as the rotation, we can create a new vector that is going to represent the rotation that we currently want, right? So new y vector 3, this is the same as vector 3 in other programming languages. We just have our own, so it doesn't cause any trouble with some things that we do to it. Don't ask, I don't really know because I'm not the one who was implementing it. Just like know that we have our own vectors and own things. They work the same. They just need to have these special declarations. So y vector 3, and with this new keyword, I'm defining a new vector. So if I pass in 1, 2, and 3 for x, y, and z, this would be the rotation of 1 on x-axis, 2 degrees on y-axis, 3 on z-axis, which I really don't want. So I'm just gonna replace this with zeros, and I'm gonna rotate only on the y-axis, and that will be with the counter variable, because that is gonna be changing on each trigger. So first time it's gonna be 0, 0, 0, then it's gonna be 0, 1, 0, 0, 2, 0, and so on. So now we have passed the rotation, and now we need to pass in the vector that we're gonna be rotating. And this is something like a radius of the circle that we're going to be creating, right? So, no, sorry, new y vector 3 again. And we only define this length with the x-axis. So we pass in the length, the radius of our circle into the x-axis. The rest will be 0, and then this rotate vector is going to be rotating it around the center, and that's how we're going to create it. So I'm going to just set the size of 1 for now, and we're not going to be, getting worried about that. So hopefully I didn't mess up any brackets there. Sounds cool. It looks cool. Great. So yeah, of course, you can see the same thing in Visual Scripting. Just give me a second. I'm just gonna try if this works, because it is possible that I messed up. And once we see that, I will show you the same thing in Visual Scripting as well. And you can see that the pencil is rotating around a center in a perfect circle, because we only have one pendulum right now, and it's got radius of 1, and it will go like this forever. Yeah, of course. Like, it will be exported to YouTube anyway, Oknog, so you can definitely check it out there. But I can give you the map with the file as well on Discord once we finish here. So for anyone who'd like to check it out on my Discord in Islands spam chat, there will be the file for download after the stream. Okay, so we've seen this, and now I am gonna create a... I'm gonna remove the pendulums for a second, and I'm gonna recreate it in Visual Scripting just so you see what it is. So I've removed that just to keep it, you know, keep it from being called from both visual and text scripting. This, I'm gonna create some counter variable here, and it is the same counter as we had before. I'm gonna set this to 0 right here just to make sure on game start. And I didn't do this in text scripting, and that is only because I actually set what it should be equal or right when I was declaring it, right? So on trigger, set this counter to counter +1. So we know that we are increasing. And now we're going to be transforming the position, setting the position of the pencil, right? So set position of this pencil, and 2. Now we're going to use transform position of the logic that we've used in the text scripting as well. We're going to set the reference point, and the offset will be a rotate vector. Okay. The vector here is the size 1 as we created before. And the rotation, I'm going to pass in a new vector like this, so I can pass in counter as the y value. Sorry, JC, I don't know what you mean. I said... Okay, I am scrolling, but I don't see... Like, you wrote it would be like set position entity equals get position game logic, which is true for the basic example that we have before. Sorry, I just... if you mean something else, just correct me, but... Okay, so this is actually it. It will just go on and increase the counter and increase the rotation with the rotate vector for the counter. Yes. So if I test it now, this is exactly what we created in the text script. Yes, as you can see, it looks completely the same. And yeah. Oh, nice. Okay, so I'm gonna return the text script here and remove this for now, just to not to cause any trouble with that. Yeah, you will have so much time to stare at it afterwards. Okay, so hey Bleach, hi. Okay, so I added the pendulum text script again, so we can return to it and work on that a little bit. Okay, so what we've done so far is we are actually only moving with the pencil, but we would like to start creating the line that it's actually drawing, right? So for now, we're gonna leave just the one circle, and we're gonna add some drawing. And for this, I'm thinking if we should create our own function for that. First things first, I'm gonna create a new variable. It doesn't really matter where, but this variable is gonna keep the information about our last position, because when I'm drawing, I will want to rotate the cubes in the rotation that from the last position, look rotation to the new position, just so it seems like a straight line instead of like spawning them with the rotation 0, 0, 0. So the line would be jittery when you look at it from up close, right? So this will be last position. And for now, it's just gonna equal to the position of the center, right? Center dot position. I'm gonna move it after the declaration of the center. So since we don't have any information about it now, I'm just gonna set that it's gonna have the position of the center when we start. And now we can start thinking about how to actually draw and spawn the cubes. So I'm thinking we can definitely try and create some function to, you know, make it hopefully easier. I didn't do this before, so I don't really know how we're gonna make this one, but now we'll see. So I'm gonna create function draw cube. Okay. And what we're gonna need to pass in is on what position we want to draw this. So position, and we're gonna determine the rotation in the script itself. Oh, I have no idea, Oknog. I can try. I'm gonna pass this in here. I don't even know if it's gonna return. It should return some error. Or maybe it doesn't care. Cool. Hey, Spyler. Oh no, enjoy the dinner. Oh, so this is how the error undefined variable center, and you're gonna get information about which lane it is. So yeah, you are gonna get what you need. Hey, cool. And you didn't see it. Ah, again, I need to focus on switching the windows. So sorry. Meanwhile, I was testing the game, and it actually, once you start it, it won't work because I've used some variable that wasn't declared yet. So yeah. That sounds easier, but I'm not gonna redo it now. So let's just go with this. Yeah, exactly, JC. Like sometimes the code, it can happen that the error is not really saying much because programmers need to define where to catch these errors and what they return. So if they didn't catch some error with some specific message, you can get something like undefined error and some number. That can happen, and in that case, just report it, and we will try to add another error message for that. So what was I doing? Right, draw cube. So once we pass in some position, we want to spawn the cube at this position, right? So how am I gonna do that? Nope. Y entity don't spawn. I think spawn is the one where you pass in the template, right? Yes, template entity, and you can in some cases we have the functions have multiple ways of being written. Like if you can see here, the function yEntity.spawn can spawn from template either into a container as a second parameter here, or if I press the arrow down, you can see 2 out of 2 here. You can see that there is a version where you pass in template, position, and orientation. So this is the one I want to do. Jardo, tohle je textový program, který se používá normálně na programování. Je to Visual Studio Code se to jmenuje a je to zadarmo, můžeš to stáhnout a je to kompletní návod je právě u té naší dokumentace taky. Sorry everyone, Jardo was asking if this program that I'm using here is just for islands, nebo it's something that we can use for it. And yes, it's Visual Studio Code, it's free. It is not affiliated with islands in any way, but we are using it to use the code completion in there, so yeah. Oh yeah, you can see the underlined parameter here that you should pass in at the right space. So right now, if I will do yWorld dot get logic, because I need to find the logic that has this cube saved, right? So this is this one with 5 dash, and now you can see that right now it's expecting either container or position here. Oh yeah, just as Shadow said, this is the same thing with functions and with variables. If I try to define this draw cube from under the trigger, I couldn't call it in the trigger because it wouldn't know it yet, basically. So yeah, anything that you want to call later should be defined up above anything else where you want to call it. Okay, so for the position, we will just pass in the position that we're passing into the function. And then for orientation, we want to get the look rotation from our last position to our position, right? So I'm going to use y vector 3 again. Dot get look rotation. And now I'm just going to say last position dash position, right? So this is going to set the rotation from and to. Yarda, you can write it in anything you want, so yes, but you won't have the code completion for that because we are only supporting it for Visual Studio Code right now. Okay, so once I spawn the cube, I can just use the same function to set the last position to the position that we have here, because I could create another function for it or, you know, do it here, but I think it's nice to just keep it together like this. So the last position is going to equal the position. Okay, so this is just to update this last position to this position, and then next time when we're going to call this with a new position, the last position is already going to be containing the position that it was before, and so forth and so forth. Okay, so right here, I'm gonna call this draw cube that we've created, and we are gonna want to pass in this the same transform position that we have here with the pencil, because the pencil is at the exactly same position as where we want to spawn the cubes, right? So to prevent myself from just repeating the code all over again, I can create some variable here with let keyword. So let new position equal, and I'm gonna move this transform. Yes, it is this, right? So I'm gonna move it to the new position, and this is like a local variable in Visual Scripting. You're creating a variable, and it's gonna exist only in this function. So only this function from this point on can see it. And once I get to the end, it's just gonna get thrown away. It won't be saved for another time, nothing, okay? Because these functions will last as long as our object lasts, but these ones will only be there for this time, okay? For the time that the function was called. Oh, thank you for translating that. I will be going through this with Yarda tomorrow on the Czech stream as well. So yeah. Okay, so I've just defined the new position, and sorry, I messed up. So yeah, draw cube, and as position, I'm gonna pass in the new position. Okay, and with pencil.position, I'm just gonna set it to new position as well. We could be moving the pencil in this function as well. Like, it is not necessary to split it into two, but this is really just your preference, and it depends on so many things on what you want to do with it. Okay, so right now we are gonna call this function that we have created with the draw cube, and then it's gonna spawn the new cube and set the last position to the position that we've passed, and set the position of the pencil. And I'm actually, yeah, I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna jump into islands. Okay, and as you can see, we're already drawing a circle, and the cubes themselves are rotated in such a way that they are connected. So there is no jitterness in them. No, Okonok. Let is basically, it works just as the local variable does. So yeah. Okay, so we have created a way to draw something on the board with spawning the cubes, and now we want to add another pendulum to the end of this one, so we can start creating some more complicated shapes. And the way we do this is simply by adding to this position another one that is going to be rotating in addition to this, right? So transform position with this, and at the end of this first rotate vector, I'm gonna just simply add another. Oh, right. Thank you, Shadow. Okay, sorry. As you can see here, transform position, and we still want to stay in this transform position because this transform position is the main one, and we're gonna be we want the complete offset to be in here. But when we add another pendulum, we're just gonna go inside here, plus, and I'm gonna define a new rotate vector, and we can create this to a custom function as well, so we don't have to write this, because you can see that right here, the only thing I actually need to pass in is the length of the leg, or the radius of the circle, and the rate in which it's gonna move. So right in the second one, I can say that the length is gonna be 0.5, and the rate of rotation is gonna be counter times 4. Okay, so it's gonna be 4 times faster than this, than the main one, the one with the length of 1. So if I go in now and test it, we should have, we should have the first length of 1, and then the second one connecting to it with the length of 0.5. And you can see that this is exactly what it does. And you can see the spaces in there. This is sadly just something that happens because the rate of 4 is like the combined velocity that this produces is too big for the timer that we have. No, there is the spaces. Oknok, the spaces in general for the scripting is only for the programmers themselves to keep it clean. Okay, so any spaces that you pass in here, like you essentially can do like new vector 3. Now do bunch of spaces here. If this is what you prefer, and if this is what you like, you can pass it like this. I'm gonna save it. When the program compiles and does what you need, it deletes the spaces. They are only for keeping it for keeping the code clean and readable. So I would suggest to keep the spaces. Of course, not that many. But yeah, keeping the spaces is always useful and getting some system into it, because once you get into the really complicated stuff, if you have a code with no spaces and with no structure to it, it is so incredibly hard to, actually know what you're doing. Yeah, I really wouldn't want to read a code after anyone who writes a code in a single line. Oh, we will definitely want to see your code, Knock. Okay, so I think we could create our new function for this rotating vectors, because as I said, we can pass only 2 numbers, and it's gonna be super easier that way. So we're gonna create a function. It's gonna be rotate position, and what we're gonna sorry, different keyboards. So in this rotate position, what we want is the rotation and the length of the I can paste in radius, right? So because we know that it is the radius of the pendulum, of the leg of the pendulum. Okay. So in here, what we want to do is we're going to use return, and return is a very important keyword. You can have two ways of creating functions. Either they return nothing, such as this one. This function for drawing a cube will do everything it needs to do inside here. So I just spawn the cube, I set the position that we already have here, and then I just don't care about it. But with return, this function, I actually expect something returned from this function, like some number, for instance. And this is used in a lot of different cases. You can return some values that, like, it can return true, false, for instance, if it went well or not. It can return something like you can have a function for multiplication, for instance, where you pass in 2 numbers and you would have return a times b if you had a and b here. Okay, just a simple example what return does. So return can return anything from the function back to the place where you called it. And the AGC, I will show the example of return. I can show it now if it helps. So I'm just gonna, I can do it here. I don't want to mess with my time trigger. So the difference here is this one is our draw cube, right? And what we're going to be creating now is this with rotate position, right? So yeah, this is the difference actually. Because this draw cube, we are spawning something here, okay, and that's it. But with this, you can imagine it that you have some operations in here that you need to do, and then you need to plug in this return somewhere, okay? Whether it's a number or a vector or a string, whatever you're returning, you always need to plug in somewhere and do something with that information that it returns. So in this case, we would have on game start, we would call this rotate position, and we want to write it to console, right? So write to console rotate position. So whenever you're returning something, you always expect to do something with the value that you're returning, okay? So yeah, that is the difference, and that is what we need now, because right now we need to rotate this position and have it here in the function, right? Yeah, so instead of this code, instead of this thing, we only gonna have rotate position with the two numbers. So I'm gonna return, and now I'm just gonna do the same thing as I did here, so I can just copy this, just so I don't write that much. And instead of counter, we have this rotation right here. And instead of this 1, we have this radius that we are passing into the function as well. So yeah, this is how you can return easily from the function. And one thing you can do, or multiple ways that this can go, is you can, if you have functions as simple as this, that you are passing in two numbers and you just want to do some operation with it and return it right away, then you can use the return with this at the same line, the same way as you are doing it right here. So if I had this, so rotate position, and I'm gonna be passing here rotation and radius, I can use this vector, rotate vector, I don't want to be searching it, rotate vector, and this is basically what I'm creating, right? So I'm gonna plug in radius here and rotation here. This is the same thing that we have just created. And you can either create it like this, or if it's something more complicated, you can of course create some variable in here that would be just some let space, and this is gonna be return variable, okay? And then you can do any operations you want. Like you can have some if else, you can check whether the numbers passed in are greater than 0, smaller than 0, whatever you do. So you can set the return variable based on anything, and then just pass in the return variable here, and it's gonna return whatever you set inside the function. So it's the same thing happens here. If I, instead of this, I would just say let return var equal to this, and here return var. Okay, this is the same thing as I just said. How do you do an if? Well, with an if, we do if, and that then we would say if rotation is greater than 0, then we would set this return var to 0. Okay, and else, and you can have else, or you can have, of course, else if, the same thing as you would have with the, oh, what did I do? Oh, here. I think it's like this. I haven't tried else if yet, so I have no idea how is it I honestly don't know right now. This should work. I am not sure with an else if. Else. Yeah, thanks, Shadow. I haven't tried it, so I have no idea. Okay, one important thing. You don't have to have this return just on one place. Like, for instance, there can be cases where you want to return right when you get to some point. So, let's say that in here, at the beginning of everything, you would check that if this rotation equals 0, then you know that you don't want to do anything else because you are not rotating anything. So you could return some error message, for instance, or something like that. You could have like console ydebug, the local console, and you would write you are not rotating the vector at all. Okay. And then you would return just like this. Whenever you use return, it will quit the function. Okay, so it would, if the rotation you pass in is 0, it will go through this, get to the return, and won't do anything else. So yeah, just remember that return doesn't have to be called from... Oh, really? Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm messing something up like this. I haven't used it that much, so thank you, Shadow. So apparently you need to use 3 equal signs for it. I'm used to 2 equal signs, so this will be hard. By the way, difference between 1 equal sign and, well, 3 equal signs in this sense, in this case, is that 1 equal sign is that you are setting some variable. So if I set rotation equals 0, then I'm setting the rotation to 0. But if I am saying 3 equal signs and 0, I am asking whether it's equal to 0. So that is the difference. Okay, so now I can let the variable like this. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so now I can remove these and say rotate position. And I'm just gonna pass in rotation. It's gonna be just counter. And I can actually make it smaller so we avoid these spaces. Yeah, of course. You can do it like this. If you are writing something somewhere, I'm gonna do it here. So ydebug, you just use pluses. You do this, and I'm just gonna say my var is equal to, then you use plus here, and what is new position? This is one variable we have here, right? So yeah, and then you can use plus again if you want to continue with the string again. Another string. So yeah, this is, you can write, you can go crazy with this. Okay, so what was I doing? Yeah, rotate position, counter. And I'm gonna multiply this counter by 0.2. So we make it way slower, and then for the length, I'm gonna put in 1.5 plus, and I'm just gonna copy this to save some time again. This one is gonna have the length of 1, and it's gonna be 0.4. I can do another plus. This is gonna be equal to 0.6, and it's gonna have a speed of 0.6. And I can really go crazy here. I can do another one with 0.2 for the length, and for the speed I'm gonna go 0.8. Okay, so we have different speeds and different lengths for all the pendulums that we placed in, and we have what, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them together. So they're all going to be rotating in different rates, but everything is gonna rotate around the same center, and you can imagine them as them being connected to each other. And if we test it now, and you don't see the testing, wonder what it's gonna create, to be honest. I did not see this. Did not see this coming. I should have varied the speeds way more. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a weird apple sideways. It's gonna go underground. I made it too big. No. But you can already see how it's, yeah, and it's just gonna repeat this. The first one was way prettier. I agree. Okay, so let's play with the values a little bit. I am very sad that this wasn't pretty. So I'm gonna multiply this by 0. I'm gonna leave this at the size of 1. This is gonna have 0.7, 0.5, and 0.2. For the speed, I'm gonna go 0.1 here, 0.6, 0.7, and I'm gonna leave 1 here. At this point, we're just experimenting. Like before, I had such beautiful ones. And of course, you could probably do this so so you can like modify the number of the pendulums from a custom window. I'm not sure if we're gonna do it here, but you probably could. So you could change it once you're in a game, that you could switch the lengths of individual. Yeah. Strange. I think with the 4 pendulums, we always get to a point where it does this. Ooh. Okay, we already have the shape. I think this is already half of shape, and the second one is just gonna be copied. Oh, interesting. I think we could do a face if we tried hard enough. I can already see the mouth in here with the so there would be a nose up there. Yeah, I can do. I will definitely make a pigtail next time. That would be so awesome. Okay, I'm gonna try and add remove one and mix with the speeds. There was a mouth with that. It wasn't a face completely. Just the part from the nose down. You have to use your imagination a lot. So I'm gonna delete the fourth one. I'm gonna say 4, 0. Point. I can maybe go 1.2. So this one should rotate much quicker than the first one, so we could have some interesting shapes there. Oh yeah, you can totally draw with the CSV files, but that's not really hard. So yeah, you can definitely draw with some set of coordinates. Oh, nice shadow. So definitely check that out, guys. I will definitely check it out later as well. This is something I could spend hours with, like just looking at the shapes that are created. I really like this. I can't believe that it took so long for me to get into pendulums in islands, since, you know, we could already create them with the visual scripting. Just never thought about it. Oh, really? Cool. Like once you have the script for it, it is just about finding the right sizes, and I think we could actually wait. I'm gonna try just look at it, and oh, the missing spot worked. Cool. Uh, hmm. Beautiful. Okay, so what now, guys? Robot or sheep? No. Oh, wait a second. I'm just gonna check something in the. I'm gonna switch. So we said what variables are, functions. Yeah. I'm thinking what we've done here. What could we do? You know what? I am thinking maybe we can try and make this a little more interesting. I'm gonna create a randomly. Oh, that. Oh, Shadow already made it, so it's okay. Dye clothing. Oh, that's a good question. I think you can still access the player same way. So you need to reference the player somehow, and I think you can do this in here. If I go, you need to determine where you're gonna be doing this. So let's say I had a lever, and okay, we're gonna go with dyeing or clothing. Okay, so some lever. I'm gonna add the text script. Lever 7 to 8. I'm gonna quickly open it up. Oh, sorry, place the lever there. Oh, I really need to change this for. So when we switch when we switch it on, the lever itself, we don't need the rest, right? So I'm just gonna delete the rest as well. Here, when we switch it on, we can get the trigger entity, which is gonna be the player. So trigger entity dot. I need to check the documentation on how to get the equipment. Is it just equipment? I'm gonna try and where did I have the documentation open? Oh, there it is. I can't even spell equipment. Okay, so sorry for not doing anything. I'm just searching through the documentation. And okay, so we have an accessor that is equipment. So that's a good question. If I do dot equipment, can I go for each and place this in? Oh, now I'm stumped. I didn't expect that. I think I should be able to use for each in here, right? Yeah, but that is for a specific slot, right? With the equipment itself, it should return the... Yeah, I think if I create a it's dumb. Okay, I really don't know. It's a dumb question. Sorry, Oknok. I was just getting angry. Yes. I want to dye all the equipment, so I know I need to use for each, right? haven't really tried this yet. So if I go for each, oh no. Oh, I can use like this. Oh, I had no idea. I'm gonna try and go along with the way that it actually prepared for me. Oh yeah, we can definitely look in the visual scripting, but color. How do you set color? So y entity dot set color. I think I need to pass in the entity here. And now the color channel is going to be 0 for the first one. And I don't know if we use 0 or 1. Yeah, can we define the color in here? I'm just gonna jump into the islands to determine the color. If we want a pink, obviously. 239, 67, 181. So 239, 67, 239, 67, 181, and alpha is gonna be 0. So like this, probably? Let's hope so. Let's test it. Yeah, thanks JC, but you're passing in the RGB values with the... Ah. Okay. So the for each is not working with this. Yeah, it is wearing clothing. You could see in the error message that I already have some equipment here, but I can't use for each. Oh yes, sorry. I didn't switch it again, did I? So yeah, you can see that we can't use for each on this. Okay, so this is clearly not working. Yeah, I'm really set on using for each now though. I feel like this array is not gonna be working here. Thank you. I need to use for each somehow. Can you stop? Really want to use for each here. Wait, so maybe I'm just using... Yeah, there is equipment in Visual Scripting. See, this is the one. And what I'm trying to do is use this. Is there why? Huh? Oh, sorry, I don't know what you mean exactly with the... Okay, I'll just move on and keep on thinking. So there is a way. There has to be a way. Think now. Okay. Why is it not working? Maybe we're just supposed to write the for each loop differently than we already have here. I'm gonna actually try and use some empty array here. So I'm quite sure that we are doing the for each differently. So I'm just testing some for each, which is empty, just to see the structure of the for each in our script. And now I am in user script. On game start. Ah. So we are using for each, we're declaring for each like this for some reason. For let off, okay. So I'm gonna try it here. For let item of trigger entity dot equipment. This latest version. Yeah. So item dot set color. Okay, so it should hopefully work. I'm gonna switch to islands and we're gonna try this. Oh no, every single time we stream, there's the bot. Haha! I really messed up the colors clearly. But It is very far from pink. But we have no error. Oh no, GC was gonna buy some. No. Okay, so now we need to figure out why the color is white and not pink. I had a pink one here, right? 226. Yeah, that was 181 and something in here, I don't know, but is it possible that the alpha channel here is not for glow, but for like lerp between white and the color? So if I pass in 255, it should be the full color. Weird. Oh, that's not it. Okay, so alpha is still the same, clearly. This is gonna be my clothes from now on. Oh yeah, so we know that alpha really stays 0. But it is really strange. It is like the color is defined differently here, which is very weird. So I'm gonna go for full pink, full on pink, 239.8. I really don't think that this is why it's happening. 154. We can try it. We can try some let color equal to this. I'm gonna create the color and then pass it in. Okay, so it should be pink. At least in the game it is. Ugh, what did I mess up? Oh right, whoopsie daisy. One of the most common errors. I want a pink clothes, please. No, I'm just gonna get white. For some reason. So, there is a possibility that this is an error. Or, I know what happened. I know, because it is possible that this color set is operating, this color set is operating in the same way as the one where we have the set X, Y, and Z, where you have to, in the visual scripting, where you have to pass in numbers from 0 to 1 and not from 0 to 255. So then it's gonna be like, I don't know, 0.95. It's gonna be what? Yeah. Oh wait, I can just divide it, and I don't have to I don't have to calculate. Do it for me. Ha ha ha. You do the work. Great. So while we let the game, oh, I already messed up something. How? Oh, I pressed undo button here, and then I removed this semicolon. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, cool. If this is not gonna work, I don't know what will. It's kind of unfortunate though. I like the 255 system. Oh yes, it works! Whee! I'm always so happy when we figure something out. Oh no! You missed the great moment. I actually nailed the color pretty correctly to my hair. No, it's different lighting. But it works. That's great. It took a lot of trial and error, and now we know how you're supposed to pass in the colors. So I would call it a progress. Do we have some Y number here? Uh-huh. So if I place in oh, what did I do? Y map dot random from 0 to 255. Okay. So now we should have random colors each time. How do we make thing explodes? Thing explodes. Instead of things explode. That's great. That is a good question. Do we have something like explosions? Oh yeah, sure. So I just use y method random, and it's just random number between 0 and 255. And if we just jump in. What? Did I create infinite for loop? What? Quite scaring me, Shadow. I hope I didn't create infinite for loop. Oh, right. Oh, yay! Very funky. It creates some really interesting colors, I have to say. Oh, nice. You had differently colored bunnies? I haven't tried it yet, so I really need to try it. Oh, come on, Juicy. Okay, I'm gonna do it. It sounds like a great idea. What could possibly go wrong? Another time trigger, this is gonna be 0.05, right? I have no idea when I set something. So I'm gonna use the same one with the from the lever. And I'm gonna delete the lever. Oh yeah, oh, I know. That I haven't played the bunnies yet, and I need to try them out. I want to try them out. I'm just gonna jump into the lever script. And now we need to change the... I'm just gonna steal it from here. It's cheating, but it's okay. I can do that. I can cheat. So I just changed the type of the trigger to on trigger because I'm using the lever in time trigger now in the lever script. So it can get confusing. Okay, so this will be called every 0.05 seconds in the time trigger. But, oh no, right? Like this, it's not gonna work because this time we don't have a trigger entity, so we need something like a label. And we're gonna assign this label on spawn. So I'm gonna create a new text script here, just so we use text scripts to everything. So this is gonna be a spawn point. And you didn't see it yet? Yeah, I added a label and I added a script to spawn point. Yeah, you can do online players. I just wanted to use more text scripting on more places just so you see that it can be done like that. Everything you can do in visual scripting, literally everything can be done in text scripting as well, like the functions. So on player spawn, we're gonna do, and I don't know under which space we have labels. Do we have under Y character or Y entity? Hmm. Attach label. Y entity. It is Y entity. Great. So character dot attach label, and now it wants the entity label. So oh no, you go ahead and ask. I'll just repeat this. I don't mind repeating it, but like it is entirely possible that you will find something that is not possible. So get logic, and we're gonna pass in the ID of the label, which is 8. So here in spawn point, I'm adding to the character the label with logic number 8, which is the label itself. And then here, I am gonna say that I want this random color for each of the players in the label. And I'm gonna do it by encasing this code in another for loop. So for her for let her off, and now I need to get the entities from the label while logic label entity label dot entities. Nope. I don't know. Oh, do I first get the logic of the label and then entities? Nope. Wait, entities should be in the entity label. So maybe dot entities and it's just not whispering correctly. Okay, let's try this. And now for the char here, I'm gonna pass it in here in the for each loop inside there. So that should hopefully work. Ah, messed everything up. Expression in time trigger. Oh right, I didn't complete the brackets here, of course. Another error. This is really not great. Get logic 8 dot entities. This should work without the Y label. I hope. Let's color. This shouldn't be a problem. What did I do wrong? I am getting expect expression. Like I can show you. Just expect expression in the time trigger in this script. So something here is wrong. Maybe it's the problem with this switch off event that is not really making sense. Oh yeah, sorry. I deleted this. There was a on switch off event left over from the. No, still not. Expect expression. Can you please tell me what I messed up? That should work. I'm gonna try why game session get players and true for only online players if it's the no, it's not. I have some other error there. Okay, this is really getting weird. Oh no, I have off here as well. This should be the... Yeah. This is the way that we declare it in islands clearly here. So... And it worked before in... when we were using it in the other... You know what I'm gonna try? I'm gonna create a new script here instead of like rewriting things in this one. It's gonna be new blink colors. Oh, Bioknog, good luck with that. I'm gonna be ending soon once I make it blink. I'm gonna pass it in here. And now I'm gonna delete this lever completely. No, expect expression. Maybe I can't use... Ugh. the guy. I don't know if there are words that I can't use, so because char is representing the character, maybe? No, of course not. Oh, wait a second. I have another. No. I'm gonna show you what I'm dealing with. Oh, I see now I'm getting this because I was just writing things out and I didn't have the var keywords there. Oh yeah, this is something else. So we can deal with this. We're moving somewhere. This is in the spawn point. Oh, and now I ran into the error. As you can see, I created a function for this on player spawn. I created the text script, and I didn't realize that in game, in the spawn point, I already use the on game start, which was the same as it was generated in the text script. So if I test the game now, it works. Ah. This is really prone to errors. I think this is my new favorite outfit. Yeah, I did explain it, but it's very hard to remember that I created something a few minutes ago in there just for a test. My eyes start to hurt from that. It's very beautiful though. So yeah, this is how you make it blink. Uh, I don't know, honestly. Like, it should work, but I've never used the profiling, to be honest, in anything. I didn't really care that much about the efficiency of my scripts because I knew that it sucks since I'm always creating something really, really demanding. So never used that before, but it definitely should work because the scripts once you test the games, test the game, the scripts compile into the same way as everything else, so it should work. Oh yeah, you can definitely use some predefined colors, Chasey, instead of this random one. I wanted to do something else, but I don't know what. Nah, I think we're gonna end today, guys. It's been already 2 hours nearly, and yeah, I really need some sleep, as Mom said. So I'm gonna listen for once and get some sleep. So if you guys want, we can pick up where we left off next week and do some more text scripting. If that's something you're interested in, we can create something, and you can leave actually you can leave some suggestions for what we should create on my Discord server, and we can avoid some awkward silences here once on the stream with my thinking about what we could create. Yeah, sleep. I thought I might try it out, JC, you know, like you never know until you try what you're missing, so it could be cool. So yeah, and The file here with the text scripts will be in a few minutes on my Discord server as well in the Spam Islands chat, so you can download it there if you're interested in checking it out. That would be a very complicated script, JC. Okay. Anyways, guys, thank you for being here today. I hope it helped a little bit, the stream itself, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.